Amazing, it really is. And you're just getting screams from across the atrium from tap dancing, it's so good. And you're one of the tap brothers, so that's your real skill. Now, we're going to talk a little bit later on about your show, Showmen, where you tell a little bit more about how you got into it. But if you could pick one other part in the show, if you weren't one of the tap brothers, and you could pick one of those other speciality acts that you would love to get your teeth into, have a go at, what would it be? It could be one of the male or female roles.
Wow. I think, I said this before, I think it would be probably one of two roles. Either the role of the woman who, the Creole...
You're going to say the singer, aren't you?
Yeah,
the Creole love call. About the show After Midnight at all. Anyone out there with a question, don't be shy. We've got Tamani prowling the lounge right now with a microphone for you. No questions about After Midnight. They were very loud at the beginning, weren't they? Oh, we do have a question, right here.
Was it easy getting people to do the tap dancing? Tap dancing is not really in vogue right now. It used to be wonderful, but we don't see that. That's why I greatly appreciate that. I just love tap dancing. But how do you get people to maintain an interest in being tap dancers in this day and age?
Well, I think, I can't speak for all tap dancers. I think it depends on the people, but certainly, I know for me, as you mentioned, at one point, tap dance was sort of like the hip-hop of its day. Hip-hop dance was really in the forefront. Tap is actually very strong. There's a strong, I don't want to say underground movement, but to some degree, very strong underground movement. It's doing some amazing things, and people are being extremely experimental with tap. But, you know, for me, I love the history of it. I love looking at those old films.
And my personal favorite, which Mark Klein hit me to, was Al Cohen's Discount Warehouse in St. Thomas, which used to be known as Habib's. Habib's Shazira, I think, was the
His original name was Jim Wang, but he changed the name for business purposes.
It was a good buy, so up here and playing the bass line right here, I'll just keep comping in the middle. So those are the little tricks we use to make it sound really good, in spite of our best efforts.
I heard a story about Elton John. I'm a big Elton John fan, and obviously, if you're a pianist, he's absolutely amazing to watch. But he used to go out every single week and buy the whole top 40 of all of the new artists, so that he could listen to them and find out what was current in music. You must have to do the same thing with radios or something. You must be having to keep up to date with all of the latest artists and the latest songs all the time, so you know about the requests.
Yeah, absolutely. The repertoire is our currency. It's our ammunition, knowing all the tunes. Even if you just know a little enough hit, just enough of a hook to satisfy somebody who's in like in an ADD mentality, who's insisting that they play your song. Play my song right now, play my song right now. And I just play it, and they go, okay, good, now play my next song, play my next song, play next. And then I can do that too, because it's perfect. I got just enough. Somebody asked for Pitbull the other day. I didn't know it. Not all of it. Just enough to be dangerous.
How many people saw the Brat Pack show? Now this is a high energy show if I ever saw one, and I'd be lucky enough again, because I've been on so long, to see the evolution of this show, because it has got a very interesting journey and a very interesting story. And we've got Ryan, who plays the Mister. You're the nice guy in the show, the one that everybody loves.
Big old softy.
I know, absolutely. Tell us about it. Tell us about the show and your part in the show.
Well, for those of you who saw it, you know it's not like your normal show. It happens all around you. It's immersive. It's I was a big fan of For the Record. So in the world is going to be auditioning for them. So I wanted to get in part of the family before that happened. And I love doing the show because I grew up with The Breakfast Club and all of John Hughes' movies. And my favorite character in The Breakfast Club was always the principal. I looked at him and I just thought, what a jerk. Oh my God. And we all had somebody in our high school who was like that, you know. And so 2 days ago they said, well, how does your voice go that deep? And where'd you get the idea from my dad? If he was mad at us, he never had to spank us, he never had to touch us, because all he had to do was just say, Ryan. And so the walls would shake in the house, and you knew you did not want Dad to use his deep voice. And And so I read that and I thought, oh, I think it's a little time for Walter Knowles to make an appearance on The Escape.
To both of you, congratulations.
I have no idea why she said why she said yes, but I'm very happy.
I just want to touch on a couple of things that you mentioned there. You talked about its kind of origins on the show. It actually started out in nightclubs and pubs and things like that, and bars in LA, didn't it? And it was just a couple of people standing there in bars singing a few songs, and then they did a few monologues, and it was very interactive. You mentioned that immersive nature. Now, this show, folks, started out in the Supper Club when the ship launched. Has anybody seen it in the Supper Club? Was anybody on the ship way back when it was there? Nobody was, okay. I did see it in there. It was an interesting version because it was a dinner show. You would go, you'd be sitting there having your dinner, and there'd be people standing above you singing Weird Science while you were trying to tuck into your chicken. It was very strange. And it did go very well, so they moved it into the theater, but you kept that.
I just read the audience, and if there's like a troublemaker, then I thought, oh, perfect, I got my guy. I can totally rag on him.
I love the scene in the show with Dan Kishon when he's sitting on the passerelle, literally singing at the ladies. I think that's...
Yeah, he sat on a woman's lap last night, and she started bouncing him up and down, and he said, ooh, and I get a ride too, I'll be back to see you.
Absolutely brilliant.
This band, the one that's on the ship now, is a number of us, the majority, were part of the original that opened up in the Supper Club. Everyone in the band, except for the bass player and our musical director on keys, did the original. And of the cast, myself, James, the Rebel, and Pip McGee, who has one of the best voices I've ever heard, we're all original. And so it's a nice mesh. It certainly helped out the newer cast members because we know the lay of the ship, know all the places to go in the port. So, by the way, if you're looking for a great place for lunch today, Athena's Greek Restaurant right near the port. Best calamari out there. 3 swings that stand up on the top most of the time, and one of those guys covers my role. He also covers the Rebel. The other guy covers the geek and the shock. And Shayna covers all the female roles.
Does that answer your? That answers your question. Any other questions for the record? We do one cruise with a guy called Silas. Silas was on here when the show originally moved into the theatre, and he watched it, loved the show so much he was determined he was going to get a cameo in it somewhere. And the production team were on board, and he was adamant he was going to be in it. And they, as a joke, they said, okay, if you're going to be in the show, the only thing you're going to do, I'm going to dress you in drag, and I'm going to stick you over there and be a woman. And he's like, okay, bring it on, okay. So that's how it's ended up being the cruise director's cameo, and I have to say Tyler's very funny, and he is very good at being...
Goes over well.
He's very good at being in drag, shall I say. But don't tell him I said so, I'll get into trouble. He said on a mic in the atrium, right. Any other questions about For the Record, the Brat Pack folks? Any more questions? An amazing array of blockbuster movies with an all-star director that is Hollywood famous. And now we're going to go to levity comedy and Mark Klein right there. So follow that. Tell us about yourself and your show with levity, please, Mark.
Well, we have 3 comedians that perform at headliners and Levity Entertainment. We all come from very different backgrounds. I started my comedy career in college. I went to college on wrestling scholarship. As it turns out, my abilities on paper differ radically from those actually on the mat. So when they took my scholarship away, I began to tell jokes in mafia-owned strip clubs in upstate New York, which led me to a cruise ship career, oddly enough, and here we are. And it's great to be a comedian on the ship, so different from other performers. When Tezz gets done with his show, there's a line of show business and tap dancing people who can't wait to hear the mechanics and the techniques and the ability. When Danny gets done playing doing on the Howl at the Moon show, it's how do you know 250 songs and how can you sing and play at that speed? When Ryan gets done with his show, it's amazement at the production and the ability that people are going out of roles. When the comedians get done, people come to us and say, excuse me, where's the Garden Cafe from here? So it's a very different experience being a comic on ship.
And you are actually, there's a huge difference between playing one venue to playing the other, because the venues are very different.
It's huge. I shot work for the big theater show, I paid for that one. The difference is that when you're on a big stage in the main theater, you have to do a bigger show. You have to move around the stage. You're not locked into one spot behind the microphone. You have to work the entire stage. You're working 900 seats, top to bottom, left to right. You're working a much broader range of people hearing your show. In the headliners down here, it's a very intimate atmosphere, and people are right on top of you, and you do a different type of comedy for that as well. So you write your show not only to who's in front of you, but the venue in which you're performing.
And obviously you're working very, very different as a performer from the two stages, but does the audience work differently? Like obviously in headliners, they do tend to be a little bit more animated, a little bit more kind of, interactive with the show. In the theatre, do you find that people just kind of sit there with their arms folded and go, right, make me laugh?
Well, I can't speak for other performers. For my particular show, they sleep much better in the theater because of the more comfortable chairs. The nap seems to be a much deeper form of rapid-eye movement and sleep than in the comedy.
But what about your inspiration in your comedy? Who actually got you interested in comedy originally? Who were the people that you looked at and thought, do you know what, I want to do that?
When I was a little kid, I would watch on Saturday night, my entire family would get together and we'd watch the Jackie Gleason show on Saturday night and the Ed Sullivan show on Sunday night. And when
line of jokes, like, it's the same as asking do you have a favourite song, but is there something that you've used over the years that you've got the best results from? I don't know.
My favorite material to perform is the material I do about my father. My dad is probably the reason I'm a comedian. He had a great sense of humor. I grew up in a household where you better have a joke or story because everybody else does. And when I do, and I save this for my theater show because we have a lot of people my age and older that go to that show that wouldn't go to the comedy nightclub. When I perform material about my family and my father in particular, that's my favorite material to perform.
Okay, so it wasn't such a silly question. Okay, I thought there we go. Folks, let's open up the floor. Any questions for Levity Comedy or Mark in particular? Any questions at all? Don't be shy out there, folks. Anyone at all? You've answered everything they want to know about you, Mark. That's it. Nobody cares. They don't have any more questions. Oh, we do. Right down here. Howl is running. She's there. Oh.
When you left college, where did you go after that? When doing your
Oh, when I left college? Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. It's kind of a long story. It involves two other men in a stolen car and a 7-Eleven. It's not something I can really talk about. When I got into college, I took a job as a salesman, and I like to engage people. I like to talk. I like to meet passengers and talk to people here.
I'm going to change the question slightly. Do you or have you ever forgotten a punchline?
No, I don't. I have very few skills in life. One of them is remembering jokes. I'm pretty good at that. What will happen sometimes on stage, not often, but it does, it happens to all performers, there's a second and third voice in your head that's talking to you while you're performing. And it's not the one that's doing your act, it's the one that's wondering, like, my oil need changing? Did I pick up my dry cleaning? Is the lady in the third row having fun or mad or why is she weeping? That kind of thing. And so you have to learn to tune those voices out while you perform. And the better you are at that, the less likely you are to get distracted because you're focused on stage. But I remember jokes pretty well, and I remember punchlines pretty well, and that's why I'm always glad to hear new jokes from people with whom I travel, because no matter how many you think you've heard, there's always one you haven't. Oh yes, ma'am, I've been heckled mercilessly. I was doing a show in a nightclub in Atlanta, Georgia one time, a place called the Palomino Room, which you're far too nice a lady who've ever been near this toilet, believe me. But I was on stage, this guy yells out in the audience, "You suck!" And I said, "I know that, what do you think I'm doing here?" So you have to be ready for that too. It happens not often, but you have to be ready for it. And I like to think that I am.
Well, they're coming in.
That's intentional, or it works out that way?
It's practically in my contract. I do no political humor on ship. There's no reason to make half your audience mad. So I just let it go.
If I might add too, my background is in political humor from Second City, and if you weren't insulting somebody, you weren't doing your job. However, in the last 4 to 8 years, it has absolutely alienated every house that I've ever done. And it's a shame because it's a nice way to have a discussion about things, and nobody has a discussion anymore. I'd like to see the arts in general be able to be that springboard to use to talk about issues, but there's no use of metaphor anymore. So.
For Mark Close and also for levity comedy. Actually, I do have one last question. There's a very famous comedian in Britain called Bob Monkhouse. I don't know whether you've heard of him in the US or not, but he was on television for years and years and years. He wrote down every single joke he ever told, and he has volumes upon volumes. He passed away a few years ago, and this is now classed as the holy grail of comedy in Britain. Every comedian would like to get a look at these books that he wrote. Do you write down all of your jokes? Do you have a record of everything, all of your jokes?
Andre, I don't have to. I've been married for 25 years. My wife remembers everything I ever said.
So she's your holy grail of comedy. Right. Okay, folks, we are going to come all the way back down the line again to where we started. I'm going to come back to Tezz. How many people saw his show in the atrium last night, the Tezz on Vinyl show in the atrium? Anybody catch the show? A few people there called the show. Yes, we did. What Tezz do? They are responsible for moving the sets, for building the sets, for turning on the lights, arranging the sound. They work tirelessly behind the scenes, folks, and trust me, there is nothing that takes place between any of the people who have a microphone in their hand or a light switched on that these guys are not responsible for. We call them the Men in Black. Please give a huge big round of applause for our technical team on board. They're absolutely awesome, and they really do work tirelessly, folks. They work very long hours to make all of these productions, especially game shows, trivias, everything that you see on board take place as well as it does. But folks, I'm going to close down the Q&A right now because we're going to open the floor up to another person who's going to be taking over. Lulu's here from your crew staff, and she's going to be showing you how to impress at those dinner parties back home with some napkin folding right here, and that's going to be our next activity, so stick around. While we're docking, folks, you can impress all of your friends the next time you have them over. But one more time, a round of applause, please, for Levity Comedy from Mark. From the Brat Pack, please give it up for Ryan. We've got Daniel from Howl the Moon, and Tezz from After Midnight, and Showmen. Thank you very much, folks. My name is Andre, and this has been your Behind the Curtain Q&A. Thank you.